Hi people, it's Sarkovist here with another vlog video, and this is sort of a bonus video because I did a vlog earlier on today and it wasn't as long as I would have hoped. I just ran out of things to say, so I'm doing another one because I have time to. And this is going to be quite a general video where I talk about how games can actually be quite helpful just in general life, in almost the world of academia. Sadly, as many of my fellow gamers probably are aware, there is this very general opinion that gaming is wrong, it's bad for you in every way, it's just time wasting. And I have always found that quite offensive and ignorant, because it does come from a place of ignorance. I mean, for one thing, just saying gaming in general is far too broad. You have to be specific. Maybe certain games, yes, are very mind-numbing, there's very little to gain from them, they might even have a bad influence, but other games can be very helpful. There are some very obvious examples of games that help you out, like brain training, but there are other ones that are a little more subtle. So take Bioshock for example. On the face of it, it's just a shooter, and when some people see it, they'll just see a mindless shooter. But there are two aspects to it that can really help you out in a good way. First of all, the storytelling is excellent. And the thing about listening to, experience, or reading a good story is that it can actually help you out. It gives you ideas. So if you're doing a creative writing course, you can incorporate some ideas into your own work. I'll be totally honest, right? I'm saying this truthfully. I had to do a creative writing piece at one point in school, and I actually based it, without ripping it off, I based it loosely on Bioshock 1. You know, the ideas that a certain group would retreat undersea and they'd have very unrestricted policies, so things went totally out of control. And I got a very good mark for it because of that, and because of the ideas, the inspiration I got from it. And there's other things from Bioshock. Again, there were the moral decisions, so you can end up learning a lot about yourself. Sometimes that if you decided to consume the Little Sisters, maybe in the short term it gives you some instant gratification, but in the long term it will actually damage you. Like in the real world, many things occur like that in parallel. You've also got some historical and geographical things you can learn from games like the Total War series. In Total War, you play from a broad look at the entire map of the world, and if you're constantly playing that, you're going to gain a very distinct idea of what the world looks like, where countries are. It's a simple thing, but it helps. Also, in a Total War, you've got the historical things. You will get a general idea of time periods, what happened, key figures. I will admit, with gaming, a lot of the time it's not as effective as doing specific learning, but it can help, because a lot of us maybe don't want to learn specifically, but we like to have it where in our entertainment we can get something additional out of it. I think perhaps the most obscure, and I'm sure many will say the most pathetic example, but I like this, it is the quest text in World of Warcraft, because no one reads this, but I remember I did when I first started playing, and what you'll notice if you read it is that it's very well written. It's like reading passages from a book, and I was reading it and I was picking up a lot of words that I didn't previously know or understand, and this was very young, so I was in primary school at the time, and I was curious about these words, so I looked them up in the dictionary and learned them. And then I would incorporate them into my work. And I remember my teacher saying, where could you possibly have learnt that word from? I didn't say it at the time, but I really wanted to say, well, I've been playing an MMO that you probably think has been wasting my time, but it's actually taught me a thing or two. Again, it's not maybe a great substitute for reading a book, but it's far from time wasting is what I'm saying. So that is generally what I'm speaking, if someone does say to you that gaming is a waste of time, you should think to yourself, no, because you can learn things from certain games. Not all, but certain games. As always, people, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.